All right, here is another video. I have the sun glistening right in my face, and I don't have my glasses, so it feels different not to have my glasses because they do transition to, like shades when the sun is shining right in my face. But I do have contacts on. But anyways, I wanted to make another video and, like a topic of life part 2 or something like that. Oh yeah, I actually knew what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say again? I was gonna say about either you do it or you don't. Either you do it or you don't. And I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm gonna make sure I get straight to the point. So yeah, that's a pretty, like straight to the point statement. Either you do or you don't. And I realize that now. Like, I was thinking, how many times I'm like, I want to make a video of me singing, of me rapping my lyrics, singing my lyrics. I do love that and understand that I am a really good writer. I'm really good at making songs, writing lyrics, poetry, and all that. And and instead of being like, I'm gonna record for y'all or telling y'all that, I just gotta share those videos. I just gotta do it. So either I do or I don't. And that goes for a lot of things. Either you do or you don't. It's easy to make it an excuse not to do something. That's, that makes it easier. But it's challenging to really do what you want to do. And even if it is challenging, you should, if you really want something, you're going to set your mind, you're going to set your heart on it. And I just pray that more people do things that they love to do. Like, not everybody has that privilege to do what they like to do. But you got to think about it. There's so many ways to do what we love to do if we just take away all the rules of life. Like, if we take away the money part, like, if you just say, like, I could just start something. I don't have to look at it from, I don't have time to do that. I have to get an actual job. You have to be like, I can make this my job, but I first have to just be consistent with what I love and, make a way. And, me talking about faith a lot, and I just want to say, like, even Jesus, you cannot use your faith for wanting what you want. It doesn't work that way. And you cannot say that it's not fair that God blesses somebody who is not as talented as you. And you can't compare yourself. That's another thing. So, and this is one thing I realized: God blesses who he wants to bless, no matter the situation. So you could even be somebody who is not doing good, and God will bless you just because he wants to. That's how much like of a heart God has. And that's not to make somebody else be like, okay, but why isn't he blessing me? So he blessed that person, but not me. That's not fair. And that's the point. Life is not fair, but we should not question why God blesses at certain times and who he wants to bless at whatever time. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's going to do. He doesn't need your permission. So us as humans, just like how God thinks, we should try to be more like God, and we shouldn't want nobody's permission to do what we really want to do. So we shouldn't be looking for that. We shouldn't be looking for somebody to give us like the support. You know, if you really work on yourself, all these things will find you. I really do believe that. So, you know, yeah. So yeah, you know, this video is for whoever is listening. It's not more so for me, because, you know, I like to write, so I'll just write it down. But yeah, that's the main point, is just either you do it or you don't. So even if you have faith or you don't, you know, you might get blessed or you might fall down. But, you know, what I would say about faith is you got to actually want to have faith because you actually love God, because God actually really loves you. So it's not a way to be like, oh, I'm going to bring my life up. But guess what? It is a way to do that. But I'm just trying to make a point that don't just say, oh, I have faith and that makes me better, that makes my life better, because all the way around, no, it does not. You're still going to struggle. You're still going to be like, why do these people who live for the world, or why are they living a better life than me, or something like that, you know? And that's why, that's the other point. So either you do it or you don't compare, and find what you enjoy and elaborate on it, live it out. We all are facing life. That's, you know, that's the realness of it all. But yeah, you can choose to have faith. You can choose to do something or not. Even saying no is like, you know, you have that ownership of your life. And, you know, don't make excuses, don't compare, all that, you know, don't do all that. And yeah, the sun is shining right on my face. I wanted to make another video, and, you know, I want to say what I have in store, and I want to say, like, you know, I don't need to try to be different when it comes to what I got, because I already am different. I am becoming more confident in who I am. I have no makeup on. I don't got my glasses. I just wanted to say it like that. And I'm just growing, you know. I don't have no perfect life. Definitely not. And nobody does. You could have everything of this world and still be sad and depressed and stuff like that. Or you can have nothing and be so happy. But it's all a balance. And so I just, you know, I'm going to always end it with, you know, love is the first thing in life. But, you know, you got to also stand up for yourself. You got to also stand up for what you believe and what you can do and all of that. So have a good day. I am on my way.